Hello and welcome to Montessori Archive with Miss Nora and Corey. Today I am going to show a lesson on the coordinate planes, and Corey is going to help me here. We're going to do it together. This activity is in Saxon Math 7-6. It's investigation number 7. Focus on the coordinate plane. The coordinate plane is
invented
René Descartes. René Descartes. He was a French philosopher and mathematician who lived in 17th century. For this investigation or activity, you're gonna need graph paper. It doesn't have to be this big. It can be regular size. I just put it this big so you can see in the video.
Not jumbo, not tiny.
Not jumbo. You also need a straight edge and pencils. What we are going to start with is a vertical number line. Corey, do you remember number lines?
Yes, I remember number lines.
So...
the vertical number lines are like that.
Oh yes, horizontal
number.
Yes, very good. We're going to start with the horizontal. That's what I meant. And the way to show that is a line is by doing the arrows, right? So why don't you put an arrow? So, yes, there you go. And that shows that it's a line, it's not a segment. Do you want to start with the horizontal line as well? This is our horizontal line. And then we are going to draw a vertical number line that intersects. They intersect in one point.
I remember that in my geometry card. And then the middle is the vertex.
Actually, it's called the origin.
The origin?
Origin, and I'm going to put an O for origin. So the point where the two lines intersect is called the origin. These two lines, they have special names, and they are called axes. The horizontal line is called the x-axis, and the vertical, yes, it's called the y-axis. René Descartes is the one who introduced the terms x, y, z for unknown quantities in algebra. If you can see, after you have the two lines intersect, you have 4 areas created, right? And these are called...
kind of bigger.
It's okay. They are called quadrants. And the way we name them is the first quadrant to the right. Then we go to the left and we do second quadrant, third quadrant down under the second one, and fourth quadrant. The points in this coordinate plane, in these quadrants, they have, when we graph them, they have to have 2 coordinates.
2 coordinates?
Coordinates.
What does that mean?
Coordinates are, it's like a number that is...
Write it on the whiteboard.
Okay. So coordinates. Can I see the eraser for a second? And the coordinates of a point, we put it in between parentheses, and it's a pair of coordinates. First, we have the x and then the y coordinate. X coordinate means that we are going to find this coordinate on the x-axis, on the horizontal, and the y means that we're going to find its coordinate on the y-axis. So it has 2 coordinates. Each point has 2 coordinates for 2 dimensions, and the y-axis is the vertical one, right? And they are always coming in this order. First the x on the horizontal, and then the y on the vertical. Let me give you an example. But before we do that, we have to, before we put our numbers on the number lines, we need to come up with this, with the scale. And my scale here is going to be two little, a segment of 2 squares, okay?
Do I
So
do
basically,
2 as well?
you can do it, yes, or you can start doing your numbers. 1, 2. So number 1 is going to be 2 spaces from the origin, so 2 squares. Then number 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just putting the numbers or the integers on the number line. We already know
0.
this.
Then
I'm gonna go to 12. So the positive numbers go to the right of the number line, and then to the left of the number line, after 0, we have the negative numbers or integers. And we use the same scale to write down. Okay. So these are all the numbers on the x-axis. Now we're going to do the same thing on the y-axis, only that on the y-axis we put the positive number going down to the south, right, if you think about it. So 1, 2, no, yes, the negative numbers to the south. And the positive numbers are gonna go up towards the north. 1, 2, 3. I just put the first few ones and I'm going to show you. And then I'm going to continue. So these numbers are important because your points that you're gonna need to graph are going to be, you're gonna use these to graph your points. So we put our axes, we have our quadrants, and we are going now to give some examples.
Do they need to be the same amount of numbers on both?
That's, you know, ideal, but it's okay if you don't have enough space.
Okay.
No. But when you're gonna do practice, you wanna have the same amount.
Oops, sorry.
It's fine. We're not gonna need that anymore for now. Okay, so the first example, I am going to want to graph this point that has the coordinates -3 and 1. So what did we learn about the paired coordinates?
X and Y.
Yes, first it's gonna be on x-axis, we're gonna have -3. So we're gonna look on the x-axis for where is -3 from the origin. So we're starting in the origin and we're gonna go 1, 2, 3 to the left because it's a negative number. So we have -3. And now we're gonna look at the y. On y-axis, I have 1. So I'm going up, and this is basically where they meet. It's like Pythagoras board, right?
Yeah.
You go with your fingers, you can go like that.
So it's like this?
Yes, exactly. So my points can have a name. For example, point A equals, and this is the coordinate, and I can put an A next to it over there. Okay, in which quadrant is point A located? Is it in first, second, third, or fourth quadrant of the coordinate plane?
Second.
In the second quadrant. And then another example, let's find point B, which is located at coordinate 1 -3. And let's see in which quadrant that is going to be.
So
we're always starting with the x-axis.
So 1? And -3 here.
Very good.
-3 here or -3 here?
Here, because it needs to be, if you do -1 and -3 here, they don't intersect, right? They need to be intersecting. So point B is going to be here.
Thank you so much for watching our video. Make sure you watch our follow-up video on graphing the vertices of a rectangle in the coordinate plane.